Now, complete high school football coverage with John Appicello, Alyssa Ray, and Eric Johnson. This is 10 Sports First and 10. Sponsored by Glassett Associates, DeHart Tile, and Schul's.
Week 2, the Who said only love can make it rain. They clearly forgot about Harvey. He can make it rain too. So time to go into the dead pool. Guy came in here looking for you. Real Grim Reaper type. I don't know, might further the plot. Our plot tonight is week 2 of First and 10 and looking through the rain to some quality football matchups. Our staff here at First and 10, as you can tell, is ready to roll. So brace yourselves. Our web czar, Jeff Williamson, he's got the whole kit and caboodle online for you. Check out First and 10 for all your high school football needs. Which brings us to this week, a little disjointed thanks to the storms. We had 7 games last night, but we are still left with plenty to talk about tonight, including a rematch in the NRV. The numbers are undeniable. If you ask Coach Jamie Harless, so were his team's missed tackles. Blacksburg outscored Lord Botetourt in that first round of the playoffs a year ago, a game that's not been forgotten. Alyssa Ray is here to tell us about the rematch in our Game of the Week.
Well, Lord Botetourt only had 2 losses last year when they faced Blacksburg in the first round of the 3A playoffs. The Bruins came out of hibernation and won 56-34, handing the Cavaliers an early and surprising postseason exit. Of course, Blacksburg proceeded to go on to win the title, but that game is still very fresh on the minds of the Lord Botetourt team. But it didn't take long for LB to draw first blood. On their first drive of the game, quarterback Preston Martin kept it himself. He'll take it 36 yards and in for the score. But Blacksburg says right back at you as quarterback Grant Johnston throws it deep to Tyquest Terry for the 59-yard touchdown. Go for 2. Why not? We're at home. Bruins up 8-7. Jumping ahead to the third quarter, Blacksburg had fallen behind 21-15, but then the playmaker, Tyquest Terry, does it again. Shaking tackles, this time haul it in 47 yards to put Blacksburg up by 1. Then things got interesting. Late in the fourth, Blacksburg committed a holding penalty in their own end zone, which is a safety. LB got the ball back and kicked a field goal, sealing the win for the Cavaliers, 26-22, a moment Coach Harless has waited for 10 long months.
See that chip? It's gone. We redeemed ourselves and we became the football team that we're supposed to be. We talked about all week about being physical. You know, the game of football has changed a lot and people like to play with speed. We like to play with power. And I would say,
unlike last year, these teams won't meet again in the postseason as Blacksburg has moved up a class to 4A. But judging by the level of play tonight, expect to see big things out of both of these teams this season. Appy?
All right, great game. You certainly were at the Game of the Week. And I'll tell you what, field conditions look pretty good considering the persistent showers, so to speak. All right, Bassett's new head coach, Brandon Johnson, looking for a first win after falling at Rustburg in his debut game. Tonight, they welcome Dan River. You know, Coach Edmonds' team is never lacking in talent. So here we go. Yeah, it was a wet start to this one. Wildcats at the Bengals. Bassett tonight, Dytravian Wimbush tracks down the punt. Little turn and burn, and that's what I call the scoop, the scamper, and the score. Look at him go the distance, and things going well for the Bengals in this one. But Dan Rivers' Wildcats would tighten up on defense. Watch Wimbush, he's a weapon. Make the catch here, but we've got Dakota Trammell and Bryson McLaughlin converging on the big hit. And then you'll see Skylar Barnes. He's going to be picked by Jalen Fitzgerald, and look at Fitzgerald turn it all the way the other way. That's going to be a Dan River touchdown. They go on to a 35-14 victory. Meantime, Floyd County goes to 2-0 with a win at Patrick County, 48-0. This reminder, Tunstall and Gretna plays Monday at 6 p.m. I was having a nightmare. I dreamed I took Liam Neeson's daughter, and he was just not having it. The Golden Eagles single win can be a nightmare for anyone trying to stop it. We'll check in with them. The mighty Spartans hoping to cage a bunch of birds out of Franklin County tonight. And can the Wildcats program continue its resurgence behind our Player of the Week at quarterback, plus this.
We got it! We're the varsity team!
All right, fear the wing is now the battle cry, and if I were trying to stop it, I would probably fear it too. The thing about this offense is it travels. It doesn't matter what the weather conditions are. Eric, I'll tell you what, a sloppy track really doesn't affect this offense, does it? I mean, they know you're coming and they can't stop it anyway.
That's exactly right. You know, there's no fair weather when it comes to the single wing. They rise to the occasion each and every week. Tonight was no different regardless of the situation. They're going to come out and put on a show. Cave Spring and Stanton River haven't faced each other since 2010. Single wing did damage tonight here in Roanoke County. Out to a soggy Bogle Field tonight. Stanton River getting out on top early. Check out Caleb Jones breaking tackles, scores on the play. An early 8-0 lead for Stanton River after the 2-point conversion. They tore up the middle of the D-line like a bad report card in elementary school. Grayson Overstreet gets in on the action from 62 yards out. He had multiple touchdowns tonight, 16-0, still in the first. Cave Spring responds. Check out Jacob Knight up top to Cameron. Catch me if you can, Caldwell. He gets into the end zone. In the second quarter, Knight zips one to Willie Harden. Small man, big heart. Holds onto the ball for the touchdown, but the damage was done early. Stanton River, they roll in this one 62-21 tonight.
Got off to a good start and we're able to run the football and get a couple stops on defense. Still some things we got to shore up and get better, but good win for us.
I think we just had open holes and our line was getting to the linebackers and we were making good plays.
All right, now despite this big margin of victory tonight, always something to improve on that Coach Chuck Poston talked about there. One of the weaknesses that the Knights did expose was the secondary of the Golden Eagles. They were able to get down the field multiple times tonight, something that Coach Poston said they're looking to shore up. And, of course, complacency, they have to avoid that. Appy?
Agreed, but if you don't have the football the whole game, if they're just grinding it, it really doesn't matter. That's, I guess, a different story. But nonetheless, something to work on. All right, the two-time defending 4A champs, impressive in the way they responded to that challenge in the second half at Amherst. That was last week. This week, it's a visit from Franklin County and the former Salem assistant coach J.R. Edwards, who's got control at Franklin County. But you know what? Salem, Jack Gladden has control. He's your new signal caller. Going up top, Luke Owen right here, down at the 20-yard line. A little bit later on, Gladden's going to hand off to D'Angelo Ramsey. And he would take care of the rest. But a little later on, we've got a ball popping out right here in a turnover. 8-0 Salem. Franklin County trying to get something done, but we've got a turnover coming back at you. Shane Grindstaff goes, but Luke Owens gets the interception. Salem never really looked back in this game. Your final was 42-0. Hidden Valley at William Byrd, Coach Jeff Heifel's gang. Well, he's shoring up those lines, both offensively and defensively, looking for a second win in a row over a River Ridge team. Here comes Jonah Fitzgerald going up top to Ben Page. Jump ball won by Page and Hidden Valley. So the Titans are threatening on the run. Fitzgerald to the end zone, picked by Sam Danzler. Pretty play right there in the secondary. So Byrd goes to work. Inside handoff, you know who's going to get the rock. It's Larry Basham following his blockers. Nice seal there. And he bounces outside, and you're not going to catch him. 7-0 Byrd. And after a Hidden Valley field goal, it was Basham again. Direct snap, bounce outside. 14-3 Byrd. They would go on to a 35-3 victory. Last evening, Pulaski County lights up William Fleming. 62-19 was your final. Cougars get the win on Thursday night. All right, among the great stories emerging from week one, the job Brad Bradley has done at Heritage. They look like a big-time playoff contender yet again. And how about Scott Fisher as Northside notched a win in their first game with him as the head coach. The two teams met tonight, so let's get you out to Lynchburg, and you will see early on Elijah Davis. And he can get it done. This young man, obviously a finalist for Player of the Year last year, looking good, feeling good. Early on, Heritage getting it done on both sides of the ball, including this loose ball, fumble recovery, deep in Northside side of the field. And then Davis going to cash in again. He is tough to stop point blank. Here he comes. and Heritage had it going on tonight, 60-0, your final. Magna Vista at JF. JF, we've been saying all along, was not nearly what their record indicated last year, and they showed it tonight against a good Warriors team. Blocked punt right here, and look at Jefferson Forrest on it, and then Marvin Blake coming up, going to cash in, and he will eventually truck over 2 defenders for the touchdown. JF, a big win tonight, 29-19 over visiting Magna Vista. Scores for you. GW Danville falls by 10. Amherst had Salem on the ropes. That's a good ball club. Brookville Thursday night got by a very talented Patrick Henry team. Coach Woody's team, 2-0. And Appomattox, do I got to tell you they've won 32 in a row? We know this. They continue to roll the Raiders. They're getting it done. Wade, 4 or 5 moments. 4 or 5 moments, that's all it takes to become a hero. We've got plenty of heroes here on a nightly basis. Our director is Ryan, our producer is Sarah. Many more, but they're just manning the control room. Yeah, we know that guy too. Chase is in the house. And in Covington, the Highlanders might have a new hero with a new quarterback being forced into duty. All that and more is coming when we come back. All right, the Lehman at Rockbridge County. There's Coach Poston, and coming off a victory, this is Rockbridge Trinity Stones. He is my rolling ball of butcher knives. Get out of my kitchen. I'm cooking Mama's chili. Right there. Later in the drive, how about our player of the week, Ben Rodenizer, going up top to Kyle Irvin. And that is a pretty pass and catch, 7-0 Rockbridge. Robert E. Lee would respond. Jaden Williams, 24-yard scamper for 1st and goal, and he would eventually connect with Kevon Robertson to make it 7-7. Robert E. Lee took control for a 46-21 victory, which brings us to the Three Rivers. Glenvar's win over Galax, of course, last week, our game of the week, put them immediately in the favorite category. We were all talking about them, right? But they've already got an injury to overcome.
Yeah, Glenvar looked great last week over Galax, but the quarterback Landry Jones did suffer an injury after that great outing, so he was sidelined with an injury tonight as they were taking on Covington. We'll take you out to that one. Coach Chris Jones and his Cougars ready to go, but so is Glenvar with quarterback Hunter Pfluger. He finds Josh Clifford for the early touchdown. They go up 7-0. Later, more Glenvar. It's the 1-2 punch with Pfluger to Clifford again. He's going to roll out and find him. They're good for the score, 14-0 Highlanders. Covington answers. KJ Moore, he's going to go up top. He will find Garrett Crawford. He's going to get into the end zone, 14-6, but just too much Glenvar. Pfluger goes deep again. This time he will find Logan Williams. This is an 80-yard strike, 28-6. Glenvar, the final, they move on to 2-0 this season. All right, Pioneer District scores. Hurley victorious over Eastmont 28-20. Buffalo Gap 22, Perry McClure 14, and Riverheads with a shutout 49-0 over Bath County. All right, let's take you to Christiansburg hosting Giles. Loss of power on the scoreboard, but plenty of power on the field. Christiansburg fakes the handoff, but finds an open Tristan Widrig, and the big man takes it 40 yards for the touchdown. But the single wing strikes back. Giles Ryan Beetleman going north to south and to the zone, and you will see plenty more of him later. Beetleman with the keeper. He's going to hurdle some of his own people. Hey, buddy, he's a cutie. He uses him with the keeper. He's going to hurdle some players. He runs at 50 yards for the score. Giles on top, 62-20, the final. A couple more scores for you. Three Rivers District. Grayson County, 25. Carroll County, 6. Galax over Radford, 17-14. And last night, James River over Randolph Henry, 28-14. All right, North Cross also trying to build off a pretty successful season last year.
Yeah, they had a big run, and obviously they've been waiting. Everybody else got to play last week. They didn't. So they welcome Suffolk in, no doubt eager to get started tonight. They're at Salem High, and here we go. How about a look at Maurice Garrison? Nice pass to Norik Bailey. Watch Bailey. He's shifty, he's nifty, and he's not stopping. He would not be denied. Yeah, give the signal. That's touchdown right there. Suffolk comes back, Robbie 2 with the keeper touchdown. It was 34-12. Again, North Cross in command. This is Norik Bailey again, kickoff return. And look, a little shifty handoff there, and then watch him go to the 40-yard line. This one goes to North Cross. 41-24 is your final. Mountain Empire scores for you. Auburn blanks Craig tonight. Fort Chiswell, hard-fought victory tonight over Jordan with 14-7. Narrows blanks Bland. William Campbell in the Dogwood, 41-36. Page County gets a victory. Alta Vista loses. Prince Edward's a really good football team, 32-27. Your final in this reminder Thursday night, Roanoke Catholic, 55-6. It was Thursday afternoon over Fishburne Military. Local college action tonight. Coach Scott Abel's team hosting Johns Hopkins tonight in Lexington, Division III football. So let's get you out for a quick look at the Blue Jays taking on Washington and Lee. And unfortunately, this one goes to the wire, 32-29. Johns Hopkins victorious over W&L this evening. All right, 'twas a fine show indeed. 1st and 10 returns next week. Player of the week and the 10-strong poll on Monday. All the dinosaurs feared the mighty T-Rex. We'll see you next week.